All right. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders, the great millstone, taught us the truth. Shalom to the brothers and the very few sisters seeking to push Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakwadash, in truth and in sincerity. Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, as always means, Lord willing, the lesson be edifying, correct, and direct to feed the lambs of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakwadash. I'm Brother Adine from the GMS Chicago branch. Okay, and pretty much just going into so like it for background noise. Say America is the lake of fire. There's no such thing as hell. All right. 12. Like I say, so like it for the background noise. It's the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, verse 7. It says, then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return unto the Most High who gave it. All right. So that's pretty much the process of death, man. Okay, the physical body goes into the grave. All right, which that is the hell that's referred to in the Bible is the grave. All right, it also could be relative or related to in a place of low estate, which when you're in the grave, you're in a place of low, you're in a low place. You're in the grave, you're under the earth. All right, people be like, oh, this feel like hell, etc. This shit feel like hell, or they be sick, man. I feel like this, I feel like that, I feel like low estate, man. So it's either a literal grave or a figurative low estate, not a place where you burn forever. All right. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 20, verse 14 says, and death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. All right, so if hell is the lake, because they call it the lake of fire, that's what they refer to hell as. So if hell is the lake of fire, then how is it cast into each other? That's a confusion. All right, so just wanted to get this word for hell. All right, which they throw confusion in to mislead those who are not of the elect. All right, so you see the second one. Those are pretty much, wrong, confusion, false. But the third one says what? The grave or death, which that's what it is, the grave and death. All right, so why is this Revelation 20 saying death and hell will cast to the lake of fire? Is because, all right, the next judgment is going to be a fiery judgment. All right, you go to 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter, to see that. All right, it's the book of 2 Peter, chapter 2 and verse 6. It says, whereby the world that then was, being overflowed with water, perished, but the heavens and the earth, which are now by the same word, are kept in store, reserved unto fire against the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men. All right, so the same way that the Lord flooded the earth before, which every single culture of people has a flood story. All right, it's the same way that Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai is about to flood this earth with fire, man. Okay, so in that Revelation 20, what it say, death and hell were cast into the lake of fire, because this is that last judgment, man. This is that last ultimate judgment, man. All right, where even the sons of God, even the Israelites, all right, the 2/3 of the Israelites, they're gonna be caught up in it. They're gonna die the death of the heathen, die the death of the uncircumcised. All right, they're gonna be cast into that lake of fire as well. But there's gonna be the last time getting judged. That's that death, that's that hell. All right, because after this, Israel's gonna be eternal. They're gonna be immortal. It's gonna be an eternal kingdom laid up. All right, that's why say verse 15, whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire, because all right, that's the judgment of the 2/3 of Israel. All right, so death and hell is cast into the lake of fire. So it's gonna be no more death for Israel after this second judgment, after this fiery judgment. And that the 2/3, those that are not of the elect of Israel, they're gonna be cast into the lake of fire, which is ICBM nuclear missiles, man. All right, just wanted to show that when it says hell, it's talking about the grave. All right, so this is a psalm of David. All right, and David was a man after the Lord's own heart. So we know that David didn't go to hell. All right, this is the book of Psalms, chapter 16, verse 8. I have set Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai always before me. Because he is at my right hand, I shall not be moved. Therefore my heart is glad, and my glory rejoiceth. My flesh also shall rest in hope. For thou wilt not leave my soul in hell. When did David go to hell? How was he writing this in hell? That doesn't make sense. It says, neither wilt thou suffer thine Holy One to see corruption. All right, so when you go to this word hell, all right, shut a wall. All right, they try to throw their confusion in there again, say underworld, but no, it's talking about a grave, hell, pit. All right, so the apostles and elders told us to be diligent, to study, to chew the meat, which is take the good things, and spit out the bones, which is the confusion. All right. You see right here in the Roman numeral 5, which is V. It said place of exile, figurative. All right, grave, hell, pit. He was in a low estate. All right, he was on the run. You know, he was on the run from, the righteous go through rough ways. You know, he was on the run from Saul. He was on the run from his son. You know, so that was that hell that he was referring to. All right, just another one for so that you know that when it's talking about hell, the grave is talking about a low estate or a pit. All right, this is the book of Genesis, chapter 37, verse 34. It says, and Jacob rent his clothes and put sackcloth upon his loins and mourned for his son many days. And all his sons and all his daughters rose up to comfort him. But he refused to be comforted, and said, for I will go down into the grave unto my son mourning. Thus his father wept for him. Right. He said he gonna always miss his son. He was talking about Joseph. All right, but this word grave, the same word as what David used as hell. That's how you know it's talking about the literal grave. So what did Jacob say? He was gonna go to his death, to the grave. All right, mourning for his son. What did King David say? He said, you won't leave me in this hell, in this low estate, in this pit. You know, so it's not talking about a literal lake of fire, because we know that Jacob, being the patriarch of the 12 tribes of Israel, we know he didn't go to hell. We know that he's in good estate with the Father, so he wouldn't be in hell. So that same word, grave and hell, is just talking about either the literal grave or a figurative place of low estate, man. All right, but there is a judgment laid up for the 2/3 of Israel, man. And I'm gonna get that. There's a judgment laid up for the wicked of Israel. Yes, if you live wickedly on this place, you are going to get judged. All right, you are going into a lake of fire, but it's not going to be an eternal lake of fire. It could feel like forever, but Yahweh Shema Shah is not going to literally leave you there forever. All right, it's going to be a time, though, you're going to suffer for being wicked. You know, it's going to feel like forever, man. All right, this is the book of Zechariah, chapter 13, verse 8. It says, and it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith Yahweh Shema Shah, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but a third shall be left therein. And I will bring the third part through the fire, and refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say it is my people, and they shall say, Yahweh Shema Shai is my power. All right, so this is talking about Israel. This is talking about the Israelites in America, Babylon the Great, which that is the lake of fire. All right, when these in the Third World War, when the Third World War is going to be fought with nukes and missiles. Okay, so let me get this. Revelation 9. All right, this is the book of Revelation, chapter 9, and verse. Let's just start at 13. It says, and the sixth angel sounded, and I heard a voice from the 4 horns of the golden altar, which is before Yahweh, saying to the 6 angels which had the trumpet, loose the 4 angels which are bound in the great river Euphrates. And the 4 angels were loosed, which were prepared for an hour and a day and a month and a year, for to slay the third part of men. And the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000. I heard the number of them. And thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them, having breastplates of fire, and of jacinth and brimstone. And the heads of the horses were the heads of lions, and out of their mouths issued fire and smoke and brimstone. By these 3 was the third part of men killed, by the fire and by the smoke and by the brimstone, which issued out of their mouths. Okay, so that fire and that brimstone, which this is talking about the ICBM nuclear missiles, man. All right, that the army, because it's a vision. So John, he was describing it the best way he could. All right, but ultimately, this is talking about in the Third World War, when ICBM nuclear missiles are shot off, man. All right, every nation has nukes. All right, they already fighting with missiles, missile defense systems, stuff like that. All right, and there's many nuclear missiles, man. They have thousands, a very large capacity number of them, and they're all going to be shot off. All right, they're all going to be shot off, and the main judgment is going to be in America, man. All right, but all right, so this is going to become that lake of fire. This is going to become that place of fire and brimstone, man. Okay, I'm gonna get and ultimately, man, long story short, it's hey, don't receive this chip, man. You don't receive the mark of the beast, which is the MOTB. All right, this the book of Revelation, chapter 14, verse 9. It says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone. Right, we just read about that in Revelation, the 9th chapter, which that's referring to the ICBM nuclear missiles, man. It says, in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. Right, so if you receive that MOTB, the mark of the beast, which is the RFID microchip, which they are going to push before this ultimate final judgment, then what? You're going to be tormented with that fire and brimstone. Ultimately, you're going to end up in that lake of fire. Verse 11, it says, and the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast in his image, and whoever receiveth the mark of his name. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of Yahweh and the faith of Yahushai. All right, and that's why people might call us crazy for wanting these things to happen, but this is our patience. This is our deliverance, man. You seen in the Zechariah 13th chapter, it said that the 1/3 was going to be brought through the fire. So while the ICBM nuclear missiles are coming down, all right, to rain upon the wicked, Yahweh Shem Shai is going to be beaming us up in the chariots, man. It's going to be beaming us up in the chariots, right? And what these people call UFOs. Right, so it's going to be a very blessed thing, man. A very blessed thing. All right, I'm gonna just get this last one to end it off. All right, and so that is that lake of fire. That lake of fire is ultimately America being burned with nukes. That fire and brimstone that's coming upon this place in the Third World War. All right, this the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 7, verse 42. He answered me and said, this present life is not the end where much glory doeth abide. Therefore have they prayed for the weak. But the day of doom shall be the end of this time, and the beginning of the immortality for to come, wherein corruption is past. At that day of doom, the Third World War, when it reaches height, its peak, after these people are chipped up, RFID microchipped up, and then that day of that doom is gonna come. But ultimately, the immortality is gonna come after it by a great miracle of Yahweh Shem Shai. All right, and it's gonna happen. This is our patience. This is our faith. All right, there's no such thing as hell. America being burned with ICBM nuclear missiles, and nuclear missiles is that lake of fire, man. All right, so Lord willing, Yahweh Shem Shai the lesson was edifying, correct, and direct. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders, a great millstone, taught us the truth. Shalom to the brothers and the very few sisters seeking and pushing. Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakwadash, in truth and sincerity. Shalom, Wakam Yasharala, and above.